It's the one that most people spend more towards, have more lenience to, have more, well, God understands. God understands. He knows I'm human. He knows I'm just a man. I have needs. But there are rewards that come with doing it God's way. Absolutely. And definitely you'll be blessed by the book because it points out the way to do it. If you're confused, it's what is it? Chronologically accurate to give you steps. It's very simple. And put you in order. It's very simple. One thing about the flesh, you can't control it. That's what people don't realize. It never was meant to be controlled. Because if we did it the right way, we don't need to control it. But the thing is that the book basically helps you from getting into situations that you can't control. So if you follow the steps, it keeps you from the danger zones, I call them.
Wow. Now where can we pick this book up at?
Well, you can contact me at my email address as dreammeon@yahoo.com. DREAMIEON@yahoo.com. And if you guys like, we'll put it on the website.
Absolutely, because I didn't know that. I did not.
They can get in contact with her there and purchase it.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Absolutely a help. And I think one of the greatest things is to know is that it's okay that you can't do it alone. We weren't brought in the world by ourselves. We had some assistance with a doctor, midwife, someone. And it takes someone to pull you through some things sometimes. And this book is definitely a help for a lot of single men and women. And a lot of people say, well, I'm human. I'm only human. I'm only a man. I'm only a woman. I'm natural. I have a natural instinct, desire. God made me this way. And I remember one situation I was in, and I was, got into a situation. I come home and I'm like, God, well, I've been single for a long time, and God, I got needs. And the Lord said, I expected you to pass. I'll never forget that as long as I live. He said, but I expected you to pass. He said, I need that from you, Carol. He said, I don't care what desires you have. I don't care how lonely you are. I don't care how miserably lonely you are. I still expect you to pass the test. And he really, really, and you know what? In that moment, I felt the heart of God. And I felt God's heart break. Like I broke his heart. And I love God with all my heart. And he said, but if you love me with all your heart, how could you break my heart like that? Because my daughter, I look on you, and I look on you with pride, and I expect you to uphold my glory. And you can't do that living in immorality. And he said, I expect you to pass the test. And another time I was in a situation, and the guy I think he had his arm around me or something like that. And I kind of like, we haven't been with nobody a long time. It's like, somebody put their arm around you, just want to sink in there like, oh my God, this feels so good. And he says, here you go again. I just heard a voice so clear. He says, here you go again.
Oh, wow.
And I just backed up and said, no, I'm all right. He said, no, I'm not going to do it. I said, you are. I'm good. You stay right there and right here. We can watch this movie and you can take me home. And so, instantly the Lord said, here you go again. Just that fast. And so it's like, I never want to break God's heart. Even if it means I never get kissed again, if I never get loved again, if I never have my hand held again, if I die alone, I just want to see my Savior's face. And for me, that is more greater than any pleasure I can get from a moment. And we had this on one of our shows. Me and my daughter have a show called the By My Hand Show. And one of our, we was talking, and I was saying how when you're in immorality, you can't walk right into the presence of God. First of all, you stand there repenting for 5 minutes. Lord, forgive me for that. Oh, yeah. Sleeping with that girl, and Lord, forgive me for cussing so-and-so out, and Lord, forgive me for stealing this, and Lord, but when you living right before God, you can walk right into the presence of God. And so when my kids were in trouble, I had 5 children. And when they were in trouble, I was able to go right into the presence of God instantly. And keep back death. I remember a gun was pulled to my son's head, and the gun went right past his ear. And she pulled the gun and shot at my son, but it went right past his face, but it did not hit him. So it's so important for you to have a life that you can call on the power of God and call it down in an instant. One time, and this is real life, y'all. me and my girlfriend were we went out for the night, and my mom had gone away for the weekend. And that night, we literally got kidnapped by these two guys. And he put a gun in her head and told me get in the car and all that. So I got in the car. They took us to a hotel and they separated us. And my mom said she at the exact time, like, it was a clock in the hotel room. The time was like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. She said the Lord told her to pray for me.
Yeah, I was like looking up like, you need to pray. You need to pray right now. I'm like, what am I praying for? Just pray. Just pray. I'm like, okay, Lord, keep it help. Lord, you don't know what you're praying for. We just start praying.
I'm going to tell you, the supernatural strength came over. Oh, my girlfriend said, whatever you do, don't get on the bed. And so the guy kept pushing me, trying to make me get on the bed. Long story short, this supernatural strength came over me. And next thing I know, I woke up and I'm on top of the guy, pummeling him. And he's on the ground saying, get off of me, girl, you're crazy. And I came to myself and I'm like, oh, Tanya. And I go running out and I go looking for my friend. But, we get home and the cops bring us home and all that. But she got attacked. She actually was raped. And God did spare me. And
wow.
I'm telling you, he gave me the strength of an ox. Yes, he did. My little self, I was little back then. And I was able to tear that man up. But it was because my mother was praying. But her prayers have power.
Absolutely. Your prayers have power, and your life has authority. And you have authority to take the enemy and take back what his plans are and take back what is designed for you. And so as their mother, I always say, it's not worth me giving up that authority, that connection with my Father. Right. Like, he's my best friend. He is my Father. He's my God. He is my husband, man. He protects me, provides for me. It's not worth giving that up to spend this night with you. And then some man will say, well, I'll take you to Italy. I'll take you to Rome. And the Lord said to me, I'll take you. I could take you everywhere and anywhere you want to go. And I have gone all over the world. I've been to St. Thomas. I've been to Cancun. I've been all over the world because it was a desire of my heart. And my father, my daddy, he provided that for me. Anytime, I remember one time a guy that I used to date, we weren't really dating, but he was trying to get back with me. And I was in a bad situation. I don't even remember which one it was. I had so many. A situation with my home, I think that's what it was. And I needed money to pay this bill. And he walked by and he put $100 right at the top of my bra strap, like right at the shoulder part. And the Lord said, you can either take that 100, and that's all you're going to get, or you can wait on me. And I took that money and I put it right back in his hands. And I said, no, thank you. And I'm going to tell you what, God made a way. I believe that was the situation with my house. And my house was headed for foreclosure. I was like 3-4 months behind. I couldn't catch it up. And the woman who approved me for my house when I brought it at the time, she walked by the foreclosure lady's desk, saw my folder sitting on top, and my name catched her eye, Carol Adams. Mm-hmm. And she said, Carol Adams? She said, hold up, let me see that folder. She picks up the folder and says, I remember her. I remember we fought really hard for her to get that house. She said, hold off on this one. She took it in her office, called me on the phone, brought me into the bank, sat me down and said, what is going on? We fought really hard for you to get in the house. I told her the situation. She said, I ran your credit report. She said, you're not behind on none of your bills except for your mortgage. She took all my credit cards. She cut them up. And she said, this is what you're going to do. And I follow this principle to this day. You will not pay one bill until you pay your mortgage. You will not buy food. You will not pay your gas and electric. I don't care if you're in the dark with candles. You're going to keep your house. She took all my mortgage payments that were behind and put them in the back. She increased my mortgage slightly to pay the back payments, and I kept my house.
Hey.
And so this woman didn't work in the foreclosure department. She worked in the financial department to get me the house, to get me approved. She walked by the foreclosure lady's desk, saw my papers, and remembered my name. Now God said to me, you can take that $100.
Right.
Or you can let me bless you. Because when God bless you, it's complete, it's whole, it's just completely consuming. He don't leave nothing out. What do you think that $100 would have done? And I'm like, 4 months behind in a mortgage payment that was like $900-something.
It would have done a thing. It might have bought you a jar of mayonnaise, or you go to the Chinese store.
Thank you.
And get a loaf of bread.
Thank you.
Or as I like to do, you know, one of them little mans. Remember the little mans we drink? The Huns, they call it. It's a Philly thing. See,
okay, yeah.
Little man, rice and gravy. You remember that?
Absolutely.
You remember that?
Rice and gravy.
Y'all never did Little Man's rice and gravy?
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a North Philly dish. Y'all bougie. All right, we're going to get to this song real quick. Lean on me. Just teasing. Lean on me, then we're going to come back to Miss Adams. Let's go. You never had a Little Man before? You had a Little Man before, right? You ever had a Little Man before?
Oh yeah, I have
a nugget.
Look, we call them Little Man because they sell them for 50 cents. We used to get them. This is our meal. North Philly. Rice and gravy. With onions and rice and gravy from the Chinese store. A Little Man. And a Chico stick.
And what?
A Chico stick.
I love Chico.
Oh, Lord, you don't know
like
what a Chico stick.
It's like coconut and that's thick. It's like a stick with crunchy on it and outside.
It's like
Toasted. Yeah. Coconut. They call them chicken sticks, don't they?
It's Chico.
Oh, Chico.
Chico. Wow. You never had rice and gravy from the Chinese store? You haven't lived until you had rice and gravy from the Chinese store.
What's salt? Gravy is
good. But you only got $3? Are you hungry?
I mean, I can see the chicken. Like, I'm most people buy the fried chicken wings.
Oh, no, you can't afford that.
I can't.
That's the whole $5.
Every time I buy Chinese food fried chicken, I'm so sick.
Really?
I can't even get out of the
You know why? Because you're not supposed to eat the chicken. Because it's not real chicken. You know, true story. In the projects, we used to have thousands of cats and dogs, stray dogs, run around in packs. The moment the Chinese stores came in, they were gone. Take it for what it's worth.
I don't eat nothing. I can't recommend
And you can't because they cut it up so tiny that it'd be like little squares. When have you ever seen pork red? I'm just trying to tell you. And I love me some dinner style chicken, but it ain't real chicken. It ain't real. It only takes 5 minutes to cook too.
I only eat their vegetables, like the stir-fried vegetables.
Their vegetables actually really good.
And that's the only thing I eat.
Man, we would eat the roots and too. When we was down in the Chinese store first came for, they had a line outside. It was so cheap.
The dog and cats really disappeared.
They disappeared. We had no more straight. SPCA ain't take them because they didn't care. They care. Yeah, dogs running around the project.
I remember in Camden, a place that was so popular.
Right by the Pasadena.
They got busted
for killing cats.
Anything happened?
Aaron got shot at the store. Why on tape? You know, they got a video camera in the back.
Yeah.
Store out back. Looking at the tape, the guy was back there
This is what we eat. This is our food. We're allowed to eat this. But you know they were selling the food.
I guess. I know the news was out here saying, and that family left, and now somebody else is there.
He loves you more than you'll ever know. Instead of walking away, open up your heart and say.
So, you say, I don't do that
I don't know, some of them mushrooms are awfully big. I see the mushrooms this big come out of it. I'm like, wow. Wow.